Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than meta. Once again, I want to share with you some offensive strategy and my mentality when I go into playing games. Now, I ran into a guy that spammed man coverage. Some of you guys have some difficulties with this, but I also want to kind of give you kind of the insight about how I like to run my offense and basically my thought process when I jump into a game. So let's go ahead and jump into this gameplay. This is actually, I'm going to cut out all the defense. It's just going to be strictly offense here. So if you guys only want defensive stuff, I'll show you that stuff with some of the match coverages that I'm running recently online. Right here, I'm actually going to be, basically when I run any kind of a offensive formation, I'm using the West Coast playbook. And I'm very deliberate in how I run my offense. So when I do run my offense, basically what I do is I have certain set audibles, and I always come out of a stretch play in the gameplay. Now the reason I do that is because of this particular reason. I use my stretch play because of these nice gray lines, these blocking lines. They kind of tell me, it's going to give me an indication of what type of defense my opponent's running. So one of the tells with this guy is that you got a too high safety. So he's got a purple or a blue safety that's going to play this half. We got another blue safety that's going to play this half. But if you take a look at these guys are pressed down and they're shaded inside. Pressed down, shaded inside. Press down, shaded inside. That's an indication that it's actually cover 2 man anytime I see that type of coverage. So when I see cover 2 man, I know I need to have man beaters in particular. So that's my mentality. Now the one play that I built into the scheme, which is my basic money play, is a man beater. I just have to understand that these guys are shaded inside, so they're going to get inside leverage on any kind of routes that I'm going to use. That's one of the things I have to take into consideration. So let's just go ahead, start running this and just show you essentially what I'm looking at as far as these plays are concerned. So how I set this play up is I've got basically 3 man beaters. So I've got this route right here, which is a man beater. This is going to be my 1 or my 3 as far as my read is concerned. I've got this whip route, which is really good against man, so that's going to be my 1. I've got a dig above it, which is a 2. And then I've got my one route over here, which is going to be 3. And the way I like to run this concept is I like to go and smoke this guy down here in the bottom and actually do this. Now, I can block this running back, and the way I do things, I can block my running back. But because this guy's running man coverage, I want to go ahead and pull a defender out of the middle of the field and pull him out. So unless he's using some type of aggressive man blitzes where he's sending 6 or 7 people against me, I want to go ahead and try to pull a defender out so I don't have any kind of a hole spot or spy that's sitting right here in the middle, because I will be looking to this route right here as my number 2. So this is, I'm seeing man right here right now. He's using this away right here, so I've got the whip, which is taking a little bit longer to develop, but I think what happened is I actually hit the dig route because these guys are slightly out of position, and that's what I did. I hit the dig route, and I'm able to go and pick up some pretty good yards. Now I want to point something out. Take a look at the time. He burnt basically about 6 minutes into a ton of time. He only left me with less than 3 minutes on the clock to get the ball down the field. So in that type of situation, I want to try to go ahead and get the ball down to the end zone and at least get a field goal, run out the clock, or get a touchdown and run out the clock. That's the ideal situation. So I'm going to no huddle this type of situation because I want to see if I can squeeze off one additional play. I flip the play because I always come out the stretch play. And I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can go and hit the outside. You can see I've got basically 4 defenders against 3 defenders right here. So I'm going to try to go ahead and stretch this ball probably inside because I just like how the seal blocking is. If this guy can seal for me, I'll be able to get to the inside right there with this run. Guys come shedding across, but you can see this running back is going up to the next level, and I'm able to go ahead and cut back with the stretch play back to the backside right there and actually pick us a pretty good yard. So that was a good run play to no huddle into. Gives me down to the 2-minute warning. in that type of situation. So I'm going to go ahead and once again stay. So you can see how this guy's shaded on the inside, pressed, shaded on the inside, pressed. I've got a too high safety look. So I know this is cover 2 man, so I'm just going to essentially go with my cover 2 man beater. I decide to go ahead. Let's see what I do with here. I forgot what I did. I'm just going to do an inside zone just to see if I can get the ball down right here, because I'm getting close to field goal range. If I can get another 10 yards, I'm in field goal range, which is getting a score in this type of situation against this opponent. And I just want to see if he can stop the run. I got a double team seal right here. I got this guy sealing right here. I got this guy sealing right here. And let's just go ahead and see if I can go ahead and get the nice little run right here. He block sheds off. And the guy comes right behind me. That could have been a bigger run than it should have been. I only get 4 yards on that particular play. It actually didn't work out as good as I want to, but I want to go ahead and let my opponent know that I'm going to run the ball if he gives me the opportunity. So back at it again. You can see these guys are shaded on the inside. They're pressed, too high safety look. So it's going to be cover 2. I think he was using this backside safety. So in that type of situation, I know that I have to be concerned about this route is most likely might be covered up. So I might not be able to go to this route because if he's using this guy and he goes to the corner route, that's going to take away my read. So I'm going to have to look over here as my route combination on the backside because I want to get away from his user. So let's go ahead and set this up. This is my man beater. I'm going to pull this guy down, lock him up right here, and open up this passing lane just to see if I can hit it. Go ahead and run this play once again. You can see he's using his dude right there. That's what I recall correctly. So I'm going to be looking off to the left side with my reads. I want to try to get away from that. But he does basically go ahead and carry the outside. So I think he was trying to come maybe back to this route. And now I got some outside leverage. And as you can see, as I'm rolling out, I'm going to be looking for this area right here. With that particular route, and I'm able to go ahead and get a possession catch in that type of situation and go ahead and get the ball out of bounds right there. So 2 good completions against him so far, working pretty well. Now he's got a situation where he's going to have to use this guy because I've got leverage against his linebackers, so I can hit this area once again because I'm going to smoke this guy up. So let's just go ahead and run this again. Let's see if did I jump out of this? This is where I jump into, I jumped into this play right here. This is a spread formation, and the way this formation is set up, if I've got the play flipped, my wide receiver goes to one side and the other. So just because I'm in this type of situation, I'm going to just go ahead and take a timeout. No reason to go ahead and try to rush a play and not get it set up correctly. So I'm just going to take a timeout in that situation. So it's just good clock management and also just smart football if you don't do anything stupid like that. So back at it again. I got my whip. This is my 1. This is my 2. And this is my 3. I'm going to see what type. I've got leverage against this guy. So if this guy's manned up against me, I'm going to be able to get the outside. And if the safety is floating up, usually I can throw underneath it in this little spot right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at it again. So the whip route is open, but because of the leverage, I'm looking to this spot right here, and he's using this backside safety, so he's completely out of position for that route. So I'm just going to low ball it. Got a little tight. That was a tight pass, but I throw it so often that I know it's going to be open, especially against cover 2. And this guy's playing a junior cover 2. So take a look at the clock right here. I've got 1 minute and 12 seconds. I've got the ball down in a 3. I'm going to go ahead and chew the clock on this type of situation. I don't want to give this guy any time whatsoever. So I turn chew clock on right here. And you're going to see how that clock completely goes down. Now, even if I get myself, in a situation where I don't get the ball in the end zone, I want to force this guy to take some timeouts, and he elects not to do that. And I actually get the ball down to the 1 yard line right there for second and goal. So, first time he makes a change, goes into cover 2 hard flat zone coverages, and this is what I did is because I think he's going to come back into cover 2. I switch into this particular play, which is going to be a halfback draw. Draws are excellent against zone coverage people that like to run a lot of zone coverages, cover 2s, cover 3s, cover 4s, just because these guys will pull the defenders back. The linebackers will float back. They'll float back, and the running lane will be wide open. So really good play. If you got a guy who runs a lot of zone coverages down in the red zone, run those halfback draws. You can get some cheap touchdowns down in the red zone. So you can see I'm working the clock right now. I don't want to give this guy any kind of time left over, so he can have any kind of gameplay. I've got basically 2 more shots in the end zone. And then I have to choose whether I want to kick a field goal. I can burn timeouts, but I want to try to take this clock down to 20 seconds. That way he only has time for maybe three plays or so by the time I get in the end zone. So I think I jumped into just a regular. No, I jumped into this bubble screen. So this bubble screen sometimes messes up alignments. So you can see he's still got a bunch of people in the box, but what happens is that the bubble screen actually gets these guys on their back heels, and a lot of times I'll fall forward with this play to get into the end zone, especially against man coverage. He basically shoots the gap, gets in the back of the end zone. Really good play right there, but Mixon breaks a tackle and then falls into the end zone to give myself a touchdown. So that was a really good play. He actually jumped in the cover 1 robber press. So that's why you want to have like a zone play run or a stretch play run that you can quickly audible to, because that will actually go ahead, and if a guy runs in the man coverages, you want to use those zone plays, run plays, if you want to jump into that. So didn't leave him any time. Most important thing is to chew that clock up as much as possible. Only give him maybe 2 or 3 shots at the end of half, because if I kick the ball off to him, he's going to burn about 3 or 4 seconds, and that's going to give him basically 2 plays to do something with the ball. Most likely it's not going to happen. So sure enough, he didn't get any plays. I go into offense right here. Now this is going to be more of a sustained drive, but take a look once again. He's got his guys shaded on the inside. He's got 2 high safety look. He's got people in the box. This is the laziest defense out there, but a lot of people can get away with running this defense because they have really good defensive players that make mistakes. So you can see right here, I do an outside run, get some pretty good blocking. He gets his linebacker out of position, able to go ahead and pick up 9 yards, basically in the running game. So I'm averaging about essentially about like 6 yards per run when I'm actually jumping into the run. Once again, cover 2 man. He's got the 2 high safeties. He's got the guys shaded in the inside. There's nothing. He's not doing any kind of elaborate changes with his defense at all. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at this. Now he's got, basically. Now here's what I want to show you something. He made a real slight adjustment. See how these guys are slided out? They slid out. Let's see if I can get the play order up again. All right. So now these guys are outside, shaded outside. From initially he had an inside shade, he did an outside shade. So this means that these guys are going to be playing the outside, meaning this type of route is going to be available for me. It's going to be more open, and if I hit some type of a dig route, that's going to be a little bit more open for me, because I have been hitting him on the outside on the last couple of plays. I just decide, I think, to go with basic dive with the anticipation this guy's going to double right here and just give me a nice little running lane, hopefully picking up this guy right here. That's my hope. Smart thing to do is to flip it to this side. You get away from the star player. Star players usually will win even on the double teams. So you can see I actually double this guy up to make sure I get blocking in this guy. And then look what happens. Ole, this dude just comes whipping right around, gets me in the backfield, and just hammers me in the backfield to where I take a 1-yard loss. So that was a bad decision to go ahead and challenge that guy. So he pinches up his line once again. He's got basically cover 2, but he actually shades his guys to the outside. So I saw this previously. So let's see if I go ahead and switch things up a little bit. Switch this guy out. Okay, so now he's got his guys leveraged out here. And essentially what this is I've got a 1 read right here, I've got a 2 read over here, and I've got a 3 read right here. So I'm looking to this guy first. I'm going to look to the drag underneath, and then I've got basically the 3 right here as my read against these man coverages. And sure enough, he chases Chase. I love about this team is that they always do that. I probably could have hit this curl, but I was really looking at this levels concept, which was essentially levels mesh concept. See how I've got positioning right here? I could have thrown that, but I'm chasing this guy, and there's basically 3 defenders that are over this area right here. And you can see I can throw this backside guy right here. So this is a concept that's really good against people who like to run a lot of man coverages and stuff like that. You can have that concept where they can never be right. You can always just go ahead and get them on either side of the field. So right here, once again, he's just playing this man coverage. He does not get out of this man coverage until later on into this drive. But I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm forcing this guy to actually defend the run. And then I see he just bunches up his guys in the middle. Kind of gets me a little bit intimidated. So what I did right here in this type of situation is I jump into my primary read, my 1, my 2, and then my 3. This guy is inside, so I just have to take a peek to see if this guy uses this safety right here. He does, but he's out of position. He should be on this side of the defender and going this other way, but he's completely out of position. And all I do is I just go ahead and throw the ball on the backside right here. So I probably could have thrown that. Usually when I see backside defenders or user defenders, I try to stay away from it. There's no reason to give away. In a tight game like this, you don't want to basically give someone a cheesy interception. So I'm just going to go away. So this is what he does. He actually switches things up a little bit. He goes into a double A gap. Basically, it's a cover 1. So he's got a deep safety. He's got a guy that drops into a hole. And then he's got his guys manned up. And he's got this other guy manned up on the running back. So you could do a lot of zone runs against a double A gap. It gets his guys out of position. But he brings the safety down into the box to try to actually fill up the gaps. So I'm just going to go ahead and find myself my basic standard passing play. So I'm just going to keep rolling with this stuff. He keeps giving it to me. Leverage of this guy is he's going to be underneath this route. So I don't know if I'm going to throw that. But I've got my route concept right here that I'm going to go to, and I want to pull this guy down right here with that smoke route. And the only reason I've got this guy going out is because essentially it's going to pull another defender out and essentially give me, it's going to pull another defender out of that area, that passing lane. So back at it again, going to go ahead and throw the ball, and I actually take a delay of game. So what I thought about doing is I was going to block my running back, and then I think what it is I did an all block, which would basically block my other release route. So I did take a delay of game on that. And the reason why I started thinking about blocking my running back is because he's got the double A gap. And a lot of times what happens is people actually go ahead and they're going to go ahead and blitz heavy. So they're going to bring 6 against you, and one of these guys are going to come in free. So that's why I got a little bit crazy and I wanted to try to block my running back, and it took a delay of game. So 1st and 15 situation, I'm going to jump into this, which is the slants concept. He's got off coverage right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into basically a curl route, and I'm going to clear out this zone so I've got this area to throw underneath it. Now this is my hot read, and I've also got a hot read over here that I can throw to. So we're just going to go ahead and clear out the zone. This guy comes carrying and goes up. He's using right here. I get leverage. Boom. There I'm going to hit. Now this is all jumbled up right here, and I don't like the leverage on this guy, but I was looking. This is my 1 right here. This is where I was looking against this guy because he didn't really disguise his coverages at all. Ran strictly man coverages and shaded inside and outside, and he was basically in a cover, a generic coverage right there. So jump into I think here we go. Going to go into an inside zone right now. I haven't shown him inside zone, but what's going to happen is these guys should block. and I should have a lane right here. And I just quick snap the inside zone, and you can see he gets himself out of position, and this guy lined up right here. I've got a lane right here. I think I held down right there. He comes off the block, but I'm able to go ahead and fall forward for a first down. So moving the chain is the most important thing more than anything else. And actually jumped into cover 3 as far as his coverage is concerned. So that actually caught me off guard that he actually made a change. Now, I want to show you something. This guy's slightly shaded to the outside. This guy's lined up. This guy's lined up perfectly. This is saying to me that it's cover 3. I'm seeing cover 3, and he just showed me play art previously where it was cover 3. So I'm going to jump into my cover 3 beater, and essentially my cover 3 beater is to streak this guy up, drag this guy as a check down, and my first route is going to be this one right here. I'm going to look to 2 underneath, and then I probably have 3, and then I've got the 4 with this play art. So let's just go ahead and show you the play art once I set it up. Get this drag. Right, so I'm looking to this route right here. Usually I'll check down underneath, and then I've got 3 across, and I've got the 4 underneath. So those are my route progressions when I'm looking at, and I'm just going boom, 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 boom with my route progressions. I'm anticipating this guy to carry a little bit and then to stick out, leaving this window open for me. That's what I'm expecting for that window to be open. So let's just watch it progress. He drops down, comes down to this guy right here. So he's coming down right here, and here's my window open because he has to take the guy over the top. So right there, easy completion. Working the clock right now against this guy that's been working basically the entire quarter by him with these route progressions, and he jumps into cover 3 seam, and I read it correctly just based on the alignments of using this doubles set and reading how the guys are in line. So he's back at it again with the cover 2, gets back into that. As far as the coverage is concerned, these guys are slid inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into just, I think, another play here. So I go into this bubble play again. And I think what I did is, did I flip the play? Yeah, I flipped it. I think, for some reason, this just looked more appealing to me to run this way. Just the spacing was a little bit better. So I flipped the play and I try to go and run it. Spacing's really good, but the problem is that this guy doesn't block this defender right here, and he goes up to the next level, and unfortunately that could have been a touchdown right there. That should have been a touchdown. So I just didn't get the block I'm looking for. So he's back at it again in the double A gap. He's got a whole defender. He's using this dude, and he's got these guys manned up. He's not doing any kind of hybrid coverage. So I think I just run the ball against him. He's making an alignment. So he takes this guy, he slides him out a little bit, and he slides over Chase. So he's keying in on Chase is the guy that he wants to go after. Even I didn't really throw to Chase too much. I'm going to go ahead and set this up once again. What I did here is I blocked the running back with the anticipation that he might send the dogs. He's got dogs set up, and he can get a easy blitz. And with him being under center, I have to be concerned about that type of situation. So I block my guy. I leave the animation just to kind of throw him off a little bit because it's going to pull this guy out of the zone, and that should give this corner out and give me a wide open area to go with it. But I get separation right here. Here's where I get separation. This should be a TD right here. But unfortunately, in this type of situation, it's just a bad pass right there, and it should have been further outside. That was just a bad pass. So he stays once again with this defense. This guy keeps running man defense. So I jump into a play I haven't shown him the entire time. Really, my area that I want to go to with this particular play is I'm looking for the running back route. That's my hot route. But I've also got these out routes that are available to me. So I'm going to go ahead and look to the out route. I get excellent leverage on the out route. Look at this. This guy just gets wide open on the out route. He's underneath the coverages and is actually kind of covered right there. But you can see I've got a long side of the field with the tight end, usually in a better position against a linebacker, and as a result to get a touchdown. So that's essentially how I'm going to run, how I run my offense against man coverages. You know, this some of you guys I know are real experienced in it, but that's the mentality that I have running against man coverages. So as I run into other types of coverages, I'll show you this stuff. But I can go into a game confident, know that I can score touchdowns anytime that I need to. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'll be rolling out some more offensive, defensive tips with my gameplay. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.